Nobody scored against them in the group stage. Not Spain, not Saudi Arabia. 40 years old. Standing between Lionel Messi and the round of 16.
Wait, Cape Verde again? We're doing this again?
We're doing this again. Tonight in Miami. And this time, the stakes are completely different. 3 weeks ago, Cape Verde didn't exist on most people's football maps. Now, they're the team everyone is watching. They held Spain to 0-0 in their first ever World Cup match. They fought back twice against Uruguay to draw 2-2. They kept Saudi Arabia scoreless. 3 games, 3 draws, 0 losses. The only debutant at this entire tournament to reach the knockout rounds.
Fine. But this isn't Spain. This isn't Uruguay. This is Argentina. The defending champion. Messi with 6 goals in 3 group games. Lautaro Martinez, Julian Alvarez. This isn't the same conversation at all.
You're right, it's not. And that's exactly why tonight matters more than anything Cape Verde has ever done on a football pitch. Stay with me, because the number that opens this story isn't about Cape Verde at all. Messi has 6 goals in 3 matches at this World Cup. 6. He's the tournament's leading scorer by a distance. He's averaging 2 goals per game. He's 39 years old and playing the best football of this specific tournament by a margin that should not be mathematically possible at that age. Argentina have scored 9 goals in 3 group matches, conceded just 1, and won every single game against Algeria, Austria, and Jordan without ever looking in genuine danger of losing any of them.
See, this is what I mean. Cape Verde have scored 2 goals in 3 group games total. They're the lowest scoring team left in this entire bracket. 2 goals against the tournament's top scorer. That's not a football match. That's a math problem with a very obvious answer.
It is a maths problem, and the maths are overwhelmingly on one side. Let me give you another number. 19-1. That's the odds bookmakers are giving Cape Verde to win tonight. For context, that makes them roughly the 3rd longest shot in the entire round of 32. They're not just underdogs, they're historically priced underdogs against a team that hasn't lost a World Cup match in 9 consecutive games and has reached the last 16 or better in 12 of their last 13 World Cup appearances. The market, the history, the squad comparison, the goal statistics, every single data point available points in the same direction. And yet, every single data point available also pointed in the same direction before Germany played Paraguay and before the Netherlands played Morocco. And here we are with 2 giants gone and an expanded format that has repeatedly demonstrated that the only bracket that matters is the one that plays out real time. Did you know Argentina have scored in the first half in each of their last 10 matches? Every single one. Cape Verde's entire defensive plan relies on staying level for long enough that Argentina's patience starts fraying at the edges. The problem with facing a team that consistently scores early is that the plan falls apart before the crowd has even settled into their seats. And the crowd in Miami tonight is going to be largely South American diaspora, which means from the opening whistle, the atmosphere inside Hard Rock Stadium is going to feel like an away match for Cape Verde in every possible sense. Could you have predicted 3 weeks ago that Cape Verde would be playing in Miami in July? Yes or no? Drop it in the comments, because the answer to that question tells you everything about why this team has already exceeded every expectation attached to their name before this tournament started. The nation of 500,000 against the nation of 46 million. The 67th ranked team in the world against the 2nd ranked team in the world. Vozinha against Messi. Every piece of the matchup is a mismatch, and yet here we are, and here they are, and the whistle goes tonight regardless of what any ranking table or odds market says about the outcome. Subscribe right now if you want to follow this story to its conclusion tonight, because this channel has been with Cape Verde since before anyone else was paying attention, and we're not stopping now. Here's the part nobody is talking about that completely changes how you should read this match. Vozinha. He started this tournament with 500,000 Instagram followers. As of 2 days ago, that number was 17.4 million. More than Tom Brady, more than Victor Wembanyama, a 40-year-old goalkeeper from an island most people couldn't find on a map a month ago, now more recognizable on social media than some of the most famous athletes on the planet.
He nearly didn't make the squad at all, returning to the national team after a long absence, and now he's the most talked about goalkeeper at the entire World Cup.
Look, that's a great story, but Instagram followers don't save penalty. They don't get in the way of Lautaro Martinez running in behind.
No.
No, but his actual saves do. 7 against Spain alone, tied with Tim Howard's 2014 record for most saves in a single World Cup match. 2 clean sheets in 3 games, a save percentage that ranks among the best of any goalkeeper in this entire tournament. And here's what nobody is asking. Can he do it against the best individual player at this tournament in a stadium that seats 65,000 people in Miami with the entire weight of a nation of 500,000 behind him?
That's a very poetic way of saying no.
It's a very honest way of saying maybe. We've all felt this, watching a team with nothing to lose step into a match everyone else has already written off before the whistle goes. That specific feeling where you know logically what should happen, but you keep watching anyway, refreshing the score, muting everything else in the room, because this tournament specifically has already shown you that logic stopped applying somewhere around the Germany-Paraguay result. 29 years of World Cup dominance erased by a penalty shootout. The Netherlands, a nation with 3 World Cup final appearances to their name, sent home by Morocco. Everything this tournament has told us so far is that the bracket on paper and the bracket that actually plays out are completely different documents. Cape Verde have already proven they belong in the second document. The question tonight is whether they can write one more chapter that nobody saw coming. Fairy tale third chapter, or the night the story reaches its natural ending. Pick one in the comments, but be honest, not sentimental. Drop your actual prediction, not the one you wish was true, because the comment section after tonight is going to be very, very interesting regardless of the final score. Here's the tactical reality. Cape Verde will sit in a deep defensive block, probably 5 across the back, and dare Argentina to break them down. It worked against Spain. It worked against Saudi Arabia. The difference tonight is that Argentina's front 3 of Messi, Lautaro Martinez, and Julian Alvarez are significantly more dynamic in tight spaces than anything Cape Verde faced in the group stage. Spain's attack relies on movement through the lines, which Cape Verde's compact shape disrupts naturally. Argentina's attack relies on individual brilliance, which compactness alone does not stop. Messi specifically has the ability to produce something from nothing in half a yard of space, which is the one situation that Cape Verde's defensive structure has no answer for. The key matchup is Alexis McAllister against Kevin Pina in central midfield. Pina is Cape Verde's defensive engine, the player who covers the ground when world-class creators try to find space between the lines, and he's done it brilliantly for 3 consecutive group matches without fading. If McAllister gets on the ball in space consistently, Argentina will pick Cape Verde apart through the middle. If Pina can limit him and force Argentina to go wide, Cape Verde stay in the match long enough for something unexpected to become genuinely possible. Watch that specific duel in the first 20 minutes, because it will tell you everything about how the rest of the night unfolds.
And if it stays 0-0 into the last 10 minutes, are we genuinely entertaining the possibility of a penalty shootout?
We are, because Cape Verde kept a clean sheet against Spain for 90 minutes and against Saudi Arabia for 90 minutes, and staying level for that long against Argentina is no longer a hypothetical. It's a documented capability of this specific defensive setup. Argentina, for all their attacking brilliance, also have a history in knockout football of matches that go deeper into the clock than they should when opponents defend with this level of discipline. They beat France in a World Cup final on penalties in Qatar. They've navigated pressure before, but the very fact that we're talking about a penalty shootout as a genuine scenario rather than an absurd one tells you everything about how much this team has changed the conversation around what Cape Verde is capable of. The shootout would go to Vozinha, who already has 2 clean sheets in this tournament, who already matched Tim Howard's save record in a single match, and who is playing the best football of his career at 40 years old. In a penalty shootout, he is genuinely one of the most dangerous goalkeepers left in this entire competition, because he has nothing to lose and a save percentage that backs the feeling up with actual evidence. Commit to a prediction right now. Argentina or Cape Verde? I think Argentina wins. I think Messi scores, because he has scored in every single match of this tournament, and there is no logical reason to believe that stops tonight. But I also think Cape Verde will make this uncomfortable in a way that nobody currently predicting 3-0 expects. Drop your scoreline in the comments, because I'll be checking them all after the final whistle tonight.
Fine. Argentina 3, Cape Verde 0. And I say that with genuine regret.
500,000 people on 10 islands in the Atlantic Ocean. 40 years old in goal. One player, tonight, who has scored 6 times in 3 matches and hasn't shown a single sign of slowing down. This is not a fair fight. Nobody is pretending it's a fair fight. But Cape Verde already won the unfair fight against Spain, already won the unfair fight against Uruguay and Saudi Arabia, and already became the first debutant to reach the knockout rounds of a World Cup since the expanded format began. Whatever the scoreline says tomorrow morning, this tiny nation has already written something into World Cup history that will still be discussed long after this specific match result is a footnote. And the story of how they got here, from that first 0-0 against Spain that nobody expected to standing in Miami against the champions of the world, is on your screen right now. Go tap it before you do anything else.